Folks, I hope you're having a great Saturday so far because you know I am. Because the prophet always loves Saturdays, even more than our soon to be guest Slick. But we're here getting ready to preview Crown Jewel, sponsored by Batavia Downs. And now let's get the crew in here. It's the man who thinks he's the head of the table, but I don't think he really is. Michael Partham and Slick L on the slickest of Saturdays. How we doing, gents?
I'd say it's shaping up to be a good crown jewel. I mean, 7 matches. What did we do to deserve this?
Yeah, I know, and it's Triple H makes try to. I feel like he tries to make this kind of like a WrestleMania esque kind of show because you see all these other non Big Fours, they're only getting 5 matches, but we'll see. And Slick, how we doing?
Doing great. Yeah, you guys said it best. 7 matches. This is unprecedented for one of these international shows, especially Crown Jewel during the Triple H era. But introduction of some new belts. Guys are going to be going home with hardware on their fingers for winning these titles, and excited to see the show and how it plays out.
Yeah, hardware on their fingers. They introduce these belts and they're not even going to be able to wear them. I mean, not that we'd want to see them wear them, but they parade these belts around on both Raw and SmackDown, and all of a sudden they're not going to take them home. I mean, good thinking, I guess.
Triple H, real creative.
Saudi experience. They're going to have like this new WWE experience there, so they can display the belts there, and then they never really have to worry about them
experience there.
And the fans never really. They never have to hear it again from the fans about how they're like displaying this big ass belt that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad, like Partha, you said, I don't want to see them holding around that belt. And then what happens if they lose the W Championship or the World Heavyweight? Then what do you do with it?
It's a one-time thing. It's like winning the greatest Royal Rumble, you just win it, or like the Owen Hart tournament. You get that belt, you don't have to defend it.
Yeah.
Greatest Royal Rumble also took place in Saudi Arabia. How about that?
Hey, speaking of Royal Rumbles, we got an additional participant in our little multi-person match here. Maniac's here.
Look at what the cat dragged in.
Seriously, better late than never. But hey, it's the most magical time of the year. It's Crown Jewel. Let's go. CM Punk's favorite, from what I heard.
Hey, creative
thinking. I know he hasn't posted on Insta, but I've heard he's home beside himself that he got taken out and couldn't be a part of this. I can't wait to see how he comes back with a fervor.
I'm sure he's brokenhearted about not having to go all the way to half the way across the world.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, let's get into it. Only about 90 minutes away to the start, and we're gonna kick it off with a rivalry that needs no explanation right now. Bronson Reed versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Rob, you want to go or should I go?
No, let's start with you, and then we'll go around the table.
All right. I mean, Seth just got back from injury. He's still a top guy. He's in line. He's penciled in to face CM Punk at WrestleMania, or at least we all think and hope he's gonna. They're trying to push Bronson Reed. He got over major by starting with Seth Rollins and giving him 6 tsunamis, and he's been tsunamiing half the roster since then. I think they just did an injury angle where he supposedly re-injured Seth Rollins, but not like severely to the point where he's like, written out of the show like Rhea Ripley was recently for a legit injury. But I think they're preparing to do something like what they did with Punk and McIntyre, where Punk lost the first match due to, not injury, but Seth was involved in that and sort of messed up the whole match, so to speak. And McIntyre got the first victory to start his whole feud. I think they're going to have Bronson Reed go over Seth Rollins, and the excuse, not so much. I mean, Seth won't make an excuse out of that because he's a babyface, but I think the reasoning will be, Seth was hurt, and that's how Bronson Reed was able to get the leg up. So I'm thinking Bronson Reed's going to take this first match.
Slick.
Parthy with a hot start to the show. Wow, damn, that's a hot take. I do agree on a lot of your points. I think also this is great job by Triple H and creative, getting a lackluster, kind of boring star like Bronson Reed and getting him to the next level, getting him in a feud with a guy like Seth Rollins. All those tsunamis was definitely a moment that the crowd will remember for quite some time. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins here. I just don't see him losing this match, even if you're trying to build Bronson Reed up. I could even see something like a DQ finish here where Seth gets the win, or Seth gets the win somehow and Bronson's just pissed and beats him down afterwards. I don't think it's going to be a bad showing. It's going to be a great match, and Bronson's not going to go out looking weak. So there's going to be something at the end, but I am going to go with Seth to get the win here.
DQ is an interesting idea. Seth is a returning star, but I think this is a great opportunity to leverage it, like Parthy said, and get Bronson Reed a huge win to kind of vault him up the charts. I got Bronson Reed getting the win.
Yeah, this one's difficult to me because, I mean, you've seen throughout the last few weeks on Raw that Bronson has been getting the step up. Even when, like, you think Seth's about to go over there, then Bronson Reed just magically appears like nothing ever happened. So I think this one does go to Seth, but there is going to be some type of tomfoolery that it doesn't make Bronson Reed look any less weak. Kind of like how Braun lost to Sammy first, and then that happened. I trust Triple H to like try to build these stars, but also not make them weak if they lose. So that's where I'm going. I'm going with Seth for this one. Now moving on. You know, another rivalry that needs no explanation. It's we kind of were all assuming this would happen, but the way they've gone about doing this one, I'm a big fan about it. Like they started with KO attacking Cody like off camera, and there's like a fan camera that caught it, and then you go into Randy trying to like step in between them, being like, "What the hell's going on here?" And then Kevin's like, "Screw you, I'm going after you." But for my prediction on this one, I can go both ways. I feel like both need that. It's hard because I feel like both of these guys need the win because we know where both of them are going next. They're both going after Cody, depending on, I think KO gets it first. But so with that, because KO getting it first, I think I'm going to go Kevin Owens in this one. Maniac, let's go to you, and we'll go around that way.
All right, boys. Sorry, had a little lag there. But yeah, ultimately, Kevin Owens is the foil in this spot. Kevin Owens is the catalyst. I love Randy Orton, and it's hard to believe he's going to lose, but I got KO winning this one to kind of keep his heat going.
Yeah, Maniac said it best. Hate to see Randy Orton lose in this big spot right here, but it is a show that you can afford to do it. And KO is going to be a dirty dog in this one. He's going to do whatever it takes to get this win, and he's not going to play clean. So I'm going to go with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, Randy Orton actually has been losing a lot lately. I don't think he's like won a singles match, at least on pay-per-view, this calendar year. I think they're going to continue that because as a catalyst for what we eventually feel is going to be a Randy Orton heel turn. I don't know if he's going to turn heel the same way Kevin Owens is turning heel, but yeah, they're going to want to make Kevin Owens out to be as dangerous as as Triple H is hyping him up to be. And I think we might see one of those apron bombs that he was so reluctant to do on Cody Rhodes during his title match, but now he's probably going to be a little less hesitant to do that with Randy Orton, with the way he's been feeling, with the way he's betrayed. And now you can emphasize how bad of a back Randy Orton has, and maybe Kevin Owens gets the win that way. And the loss might fuel Randy Orton's bitterness and jealousy that he hasn't been vocalizing it, but we've all seen for at least a couple of months now him just glancing at that belt, and it just happened last night on SmackDown again. So I think to fuel Randy Orton's eventual turn and to get Kevin Owens over as this much more sadistic guy and unnerved guy that Triple H is trying to tell us he is now, I think Kevin Owens is going over.
Randy Orton has a great Smeagol vibe going on with the belt right now. I'll just say that.
Precious.
I do wonder, though, we know, like, obviously you just said it, that it's happening, Randy versus Cody. I do wonder how they get there. Is it going to be, Randy, you deserve this title shot, here it is? Or is Randy also going to turn heel, say, I don't know, at, like, Survivor Series or something? It's interesting to see where that leads, but with this next one, Triple H is finally building up a women's tag division because this fatal four-way is going to be a banger with Jade and Bianca versus Damage Control versus the newcomers to the main roster, Metaphor, and Chelsea Green and Piper Nevins. But so, I mean, for this one, I'm gonna go Maniac first. Let's Maniac you go because the prof has no idea where this one's going yet.
Yeah, let me lead the way for the Prophet, as usual. No problem there. It's a role I'm used to. With that said, this is the Jade and Bianca tour right now. It's also a great job by WWE. Listen, sometimes I give them shit, but they're going to have a multi-woman tag team match in Saudi Arabia, so you got to give them a little credit for something. With that said, Jade and Bianca tour, they're going to win, and they're going to continue their run until their eventual breakup and WrestleMania match, for sure.
Slick.
Sorry, guys. I was just distracted. I just saw the most geese I've ever seen at one time in person. That was fucking crazy shit. But yeah, like Maniac said, this is the Jade and Bianca tour, especially in a place like Saudi Arabia where they don't really give a shit about women. You want to display probably the most powerful ones that could beat like any guy's ass that's ringside for this match. So
Slick, you're cutting out a little bit.
Slick on Slick Saturday. Not a great sign.
It's getting sent to the Shadow Realm.
Oh my God.
To be honest, I thought I was lagging, but then now I'm wondering, did the geese get him? Do you think the geese got Slick?
The
They offered
geese were
Hitchcock
not
him.
happy about Slick ruining their time. All right, well let's let him figure out his technicalities. Parthy, you go.
Yeah, it's like Maniac said. It's the Jade Bianca tour, at least until before WrestleMania, because I anticipate they're going to have a singles match. That's when they'll lose the tag titles for good, unless there's like unless we have a hometown Saudi Arabian women's tag team, which I don't anticipate there is in this match, or unless one of them is suddenly going to leave WWE for whatever reason, like when Ronda and Shayna just broke up suddenly, and then they had their singles match and Ronda, effed off. Jade and Bianca are going to hold on to these tag titles for the foreseeable future.
Oh no, the geese got Slick.
Slick was talking shit about the geese.
That's crazy.
Well, for this one, I don't know why I was saying I don't know where my mind's made up before, because this is clearly...
Yeah, we made it obvious for you, Prophet.
All right, Maniac, who's the host today? The Prophet's the host, so I'm going to mute you. Yeah, there we go. But yeah,
Wait. You got to play the clip here.
Shut up while I'm conducting business.
Thank you. But this one's a better one.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
Well,
right,
and it's
right
your
now,
favorite.
right
That's
now
your
it's
favorite.
like when DX faced John Cena for the title. It's me against you two friggin' silly. So I'll just have to hope one of you super kicks the other in the face.
all right,
We do that regularly anyway.
So I'm going with Jade and Bianca. Another clean sweep. I think we've seen a lot of these, but these next three, after this one, but for the next one, this one's been in the process of being built for a while. We had the Andrade and Carmelo best of 7 series, and LA Knight was just always in the middle of that. So we're finally having go down with the United States Championship of LA Knight. Yeah. There's Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. I think this one's simple. I think they built up this match really good, like I said, with the best of 7 and with LA Knight kind of just always being in the middle of it. But LA Knight's going to be the champion still. I just can't see them, especially in Saudi, changing the belt for the United States Championship.
Yeah, that would be kind of ironic and not very fitting. I mean, I can see Carmelo as a future United States Championship. Some people have been saying, put the belt on him now, but he really just got here. And as much as he's a prodigy, he's not like a Braun Breaker level prodigy where they're putting him on the fast track. They're putting the rocket to his back. They're putting titles on him, not once, but twice. I can see Carmelo in the future winning the United States title, but LA Knight's title reign just started at SummerSlam and it's just getting going. This is really a way for him to finish this Andrade Carmelo Hayes feud by himself, with neither man getting too much of a shine over the other. It's not LA Knight versus Andrade or Carmelo. They both get their time to shine, but LA Knight is ultimately going to be the one walking out with the title in the end. Maniac.
Oh no, did the geese get Maniac?
I'm here. I ain't get geese. Ultimately, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, they've been going on in this feud. They're almost basically like Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins in a mini version. But I got LA Knight keeping this title. LA Knight retains and still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another clean sweep. I mean, like I said, a lot of these matches will be like that, but who knows with these next three? Because it is time to hand out some championship rings. And first, it's the women's side with the women's world heavyweight champion Liv Morgan versus the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax. Maniac, let's start with you on this one.
Real quick, by the way, and it's a good point that, yeah, it seems like the show is a little bit obvious, but it wasn't too long ago that there was basically nothing happening on these Crown Jewel shows from what I remember. So nice to see an improvement where they swerve us every so often now with the Saudi crowd. With that said, ultimately, Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax, they just seem so intent on making Nia Jax this powerful persona. And Liv Morgan, they kind of don't mind her being like a little bit of like a chicken shit heel action. So I think they're going to go with Nia Jax in this spot, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it be like a 11 to 14 minute banger.
For me, these Crown Jewel matchups are all about X factors because you're putting champion against champion, and WWE is being basically booked into a rock and a hard place. I don't think they're necessarily booking themselves into a hard place. I think Saudi's booking them into a hard place because they're saying, "Oh, we have these gaudy belts that we want your champions to fight over." So how do you go back to the old Survivor Series brand warfare and book one of your champions to look stronger than your others? You have to put X factors in there, and you basically have to go shenanigans out the ass here.
Shenanigans!
So, in Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax, what's the X factor? It's Tiffy time. It's that briefcase that is hanging over both of them like the sword of Damocles. And the real story is it's hanging over Nia Jax, and she doesn't even realize it. She thinks that, she gifted her the Barbie briefcase, so she's good friends with her. She's safe, but we're seeing cracks in that foundation there. And I think Liv Morgan, because Rhea's not going to be here for a while, I think you have to make her a little bit stronger. You have to, because Nia Jax, they've been putting her over as the Annihilator, and we believe that she can annihilate Liv Morgan one-on-one without any outside interference or skullduggery or anything like that. And not to mention, my Wrestling 101 radar is saying that because Nia Jax stood tall, or should I say sat tall, over Liv Morgan on SmackDown, I think they're going to go the opposite way. I think they're going to have Liv Morgan where Raquel Rodriguez and Tiffany are going to try and get involved, and there's some miscommunication with the briefcase, and Nia Jax inadvertently gets maybe knocked out with the briefcase, and Liv Morgan snatches up the pin. She can make use of that dynamite. I was going to say dynamite diamond ring. That's essentially what this is going to be, a dynamite diamond ring for the winners of the Crown Jewel matches, and maybe Liv can win a few matches, slipping that ring on. Hey, how about Dominic, putting a ring on Liv's finger, metaphorically speaking, and then Liv knocking out some future challengers until she gets back to Rhea when she gets back from injury. But to make a long story short, I think Liv's going to make this. Liv's going to get the win. Nia Jax is going to further her story with Tiffany with further conflict over how they lost this match. So I think Liv.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to go Liv's way. I just think, like you were saying, I think if they're going to make the Crown Jewel Championships like a big thing every year, they're going to want a champion who can brag and reuse this ring whenever they want. And that's going to be Liv Morgan. And especially because Liv Morgan's going to win, and you're going to have the Tiffy interaction at the end of the match with Nia being on the ground. Does it happen today? I don't think so, but it is coming very soon. I think they've really started. I mean, they've been building it since the moment she wanted, but I think recently they've really started to count it down, it's happening relatively soon. So I'm going Liv, but there will be tomfoolery with Raquel, with Tiffy, who she claims Dom's home watching the cat, but is he really? So we'll see where that one goes. But now moving on to the men's side, we have Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, undisputed WWE champion, versus Gunther, the world's heavyweight champion. This one, it's for me, I'll start with this one. I think Cody can afford a loss, and I mean, it's a ring for him. A face isn't going to use the ring. And I think Gunther, they're really trying to build him up as the all power, no one can beat him type of champion. So I think I'm going to go Gunther with this one. Maybe we'll see some I don't think there's many interferences going on in this one. I think it's going to be clean, but we'll have to see. But I'm going with Gunther.
I'll go next. Yeah, I do see Gunther winning. I see because he's such the condescending prick champion, and he's gonna want to tell everybody how he's better than them. He's a better champion than any other champion. It fits him a lot better than it fits Cody. And like I said before, X factors in these crown jewel matches. I do see a little interference because we saw Kevin Owens interject himself into Cody and Randy's affairs while they were fighting Imperium just yesterday on SmackDown. And I see something similar happening. Maybe Ludwig Kaiser tries to get involved on Gunther's behalf, and then Randy comes down to chase him off. But then Kevin Owens comes down because he wants more a piece of Randy Orton, and in that confusion, maybe Cody tries to interject himself, and something happens where Gunther catches him out of nowhere with a sleeper hold. And of course, I don't see Cody tapping, maybe not even taking a clean pinfall. Maybe it'll go the same way they went with Gunther and Randy Orton, where Cody is just incapacitated and he gets in the sleeper and he just passes out. And you can go back and say, well, if these guys hadn't been, interfering and, confusing Cody, maybe he would have won it. But Gunther will just come out and say, I'm the greatest champion ever, and so on and so forth. So I see Gunther winning. He'll wear that ring with prestige, as he'll say, and Cody will have to deal with the ramifications and deal with Kevin and Randy in the aftermath. So I say Gunther.
Yeah, ultimately, this is a big ego play for Gunther. But, I mean, it's tough to see how are you going to give Cody Rhodes a loss. That'll be a big mystery. I'm walking into the TSE event here, boys. I can't wait to see Crown Jewel, but my pick, I got New Bloodline. My Tribal Chief Solo Sikoa standing tall for the main event. Have a good day now.
Good day now.
All right.
Well,
easy.
Now I guess we can move on to what Maniac got ahead of.
One more thing. We don't think there's going to be a Goldberg factor in this Cody Rhodes Gunther match, right? I heard something about he's going to be occupied with something on Friday, like a football event, maybe.
Yeah,
it'd be a pretty tough way to fly out to Saudi if they were going to try and make that happen.
Yeah, I don't know when. Like, is that going to be like a Survivor Series type of match? Like, when is that going to go down? Like, but they've been brewing, and I'm shocked it hasn't really gone down yet. But we'll have to wait and see. But as Maniac was saying, there's only one match left, and it's the Bloodline Civil War 2.0. Roman and the Usos have reunited. They are officially a family again, and they will go on to face the Timu Bloodline of Solo, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga. This one, I think it's going to be one of those matches where obviously this isn't it for them. We all know it's going to Survivor Series. But I'm just glad Roman and Usos back. I think it did a little weird. The timing of it was weird, kind of, because like it happened last Friday, but since they were in Saudi for today, they recorded Friday before Monday, where the Usos made up. So like, if you saw spoilers from last night when they recorded it, it's like Monday kind of didn't make any sense. They probably should have pushed it up 1 week so it went in order. But it's them just picking on things. But I'm glad that the OG Bloodline's back. But like Maniac said, Roman and Usos, they can deserve a loss. Obviously, there's going to be that Survivor Series War Games. So I'm going to go with the Timo Bloodline of Solo, Jacob, and Tama. And I think Solo's going to be standing tall. Now, question is there a final boss appearance or a Sammy appearance in this match tonight? But what are your thoughts on that?
I wouldn't predict either at this juncture. I think there's going to have to be a place down the road for the Rock's appearance. I think they're just getting going with Sammy being interjected into this. Who knows what he was talking about with Solo? Maybe he was trying to talk Solo off the edge, like Jay when he first interacted with Solo a couple weeks ago. And ultimately, Sammy's going to realize, oh, this 2.0, Wish.com bloodline is not where it's at. And it's actually bad for the whole, family. Not that it's his family. I think what Jay was trying to say was, I don't want to do this, but when it is your blood, like your literal blood, there are obligations you have. And it's not Sammy's obligation. But Sammy's going to say, you know what? You're still my Oos. And if this is important to you, then it's important to me. But that's going to have to be for later down the line. I think the point of this match is to say that it's still going to be 4-on-3, even though it's officially 3-on-3. Tonga Loa is probably going to try and get some involvement. Hopefully he doesn't screw anything up this time while trying to do it. But I think they're going to realize that, as strong as the OG bloodline is, they still need one more to even the odds. And that's the whole point of getting out of this match and then going back to Sammy, and Sammy having, a come to Jesus meeting with Roman like Jay just had on SmackDown with him. So at the end of the day, it's gonna be
They
cinema.
call this cinema.
And we're just getting started here, and I think the new bloodline has to win first here.
Yeah, I think so. Another maybe great point to think about. There's still a lot of bloodline members that have been rumored signed to WWE that are still not in the picture. We got Hikuleo that's still
Rumored,
not made an appearance, and I think is there one more that is technically
Zilla
signed?
Fatu has been rumored, but I think he's still making independent dates. He hasn't been been kept in reserve like when Jacob Fatu was said to be signed, but he was kept off TV for a while until he finally made his appearance.
Yeah, that's fair. But before we go, we're only a little over an hour away from the start of the Crown Jewel PLE. Any final thoughts?
7 matches for a PLE is pretty rare for WWE outside of like WrestleMania or SummerSlam. So I'd say we're eating this afternoon. It's nice to have these afternoon pay-per-views as much as international pay-per-views are taxing for the talent having to travel over there. But getting it out of the way on a Saturday afternoon and then going do whatever you have to do, whatever you want to do Saturday night or Sunday night, I think it's pretty nice usually.
I agree. I mean, in the morning you could get brunch with Aunt Sally, and then you could watch some WWE, and then you can have a good time on a Saturday night down maybe on I don't know, somewhere. Doesn't
Maybe you
matter
could
where.
maybe you could have a good time at
All right, and with that, folks, I hope you all have a great Saturday and enjoy Crown Jewel. But you got to always remember, this isn't the show that's wrestling with your budget. It's not the show that's wrestling with your conscience. This is wrestling with emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.